Welcome back to lesson 21. This is part 2. Today we are going to be looking at the UN. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. We need you to understand the purpose, the structure, the successes, the failures / limitations of the UN. We need you to compare it to the League and connect it to the concept of nationalism. There's an optional essay there for you if you really want to write an essay. There's a great summary PowerPoint here as well if you want to go into deep look at the UN. So depending upon how much depth you want on the UN, you can either start with this summary PowerPoint or skip ahead. There's just a quick cartoon here trying to connect the UN to the League. The UN is meant to be the successor of the League, and you can tell that the League failed. Therefore, the UN should be learning from the failure of the League. Still having the same goals of the League. The purpose is to prevent war and create more international law and order and an arena for diplomacy and some arena for international economics and things like that. The UN also in its origin is built during a time of war, so it also has this allied front, this collective security against fascism and authoritarianism. So summary of the achievements of the UN, you could skim through this to list some of the achievements from the assignment that you have. Some would say the UN's been successful at peacekeeping, but there's also been some unsuccessful missions in places like Rwanda and Bosnia. So you could certainly find some needed information in these two sources to help answer those note guiding principles of this unit, this lesson. For a deeper study, there is another Prezi here as well. Does an excellent job answering all of these questions, but it's very detailed, as you can see. And there's some embedded video as well. So if you want to learn more about the Charter, if you want to learn more about the different organizations within the United Nations, connecting it to things like human rights and diplomacy and capitalism and security, then by all means, flip through that Prezi I created for you. But if you're like sitting there and saying it's a beautiful day, I'd like to go outside soon, it's sunny, and here's a quick video that'll help answer the questions of what do they do, how effective is it. Each video is less than 30 minutes. The successes and the failures. This is a report card of the UN at age 15 or age 70, sorry. So successes and failures of the League. You can take a look at that to answer those questions. What are the goals of the League are outlined there as well. And why some people might be critical of the League is outlined there. And then there's some practice UN questions for you. So in the end, we want you to understand those ideas about the UN. What is its purpose? What is its structure? How has it been successful, and how is it limited, and how has it failed? How is it similar to the League, and ultimately, how does this connect to nationalism? Nationalism. Spoiler alert for the last one, it connects to nationalism because some of the limitations of the League, sorry, I say League, I meant the UN. Some of the limitations of the UN is that the member states of the UN still put national loyalty closest to their heart, and because of that, often the commitment to UN resolutions is limited. We might even have member states of the UN at conflict with each other, and because they're at conflict with each other, then it creates an impasse within the UN, especially if the member states at conflict with each other are the members of the Security Council. So the Security Council are the 5 permanent members that have veto over all UN missions that include military use. And included in that are some of the rivals of the 21st century, like There was the Soviet Union and the United States. Right there, you have two members that their rivalry defined the second half of the 21st century, or the 20th century. We also had China, sometimes on the Soviet side, sometimes on the American side. We have the British and we have the French, and the French like to do their own thing. So all five of those countries will be using vetoes and saying, oh, the UN's not doing that, and the UN's not going to do that, because it's not in our best interest. And that'll help lead to some of the failures of the UN. So that's a connection to nationalism for sure. So you should be able to do the purpose and the structure of the UN by looking at those short videos. You know, once we skip through the readings and stuff. Here's the purpose. This is what they do. Here's the structure. But here's also the successes and failures. Those are the other outcomes that we want. And you'll be finished this section on the UN.